Coach, what's your Nia Smith story and your special, unique connection to Seattle, Washington?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah.
Jules. Oh, interesting. David Jenkins reached out and said he had a family friend that just finished playing college basketball and was want to getting into the college basketball world, and we all talked to her on the phone. Thought she was kind of the perfect fit for us.
Awesome. I wanted to ask about the ROTC experience that you just had with your team, and Lana mentioned a lot about how communication was one of the focuses during that exercise. What was that like, and what were some takeaways from that?
Yeah, I thought our kids really embraced it in the early morning. Kind of cold. All of our feet and hands were cold that morning. It's a good day here in West Lafayette. But, just taking a step outside of, like, the basketball court and putting yourself in uncomfortable positions, trying to attack things right from the beginning. And this group embraced it. They learned a little bit about each other in a tough environment, getting yelled at by somebody other than me, but no, they were great. I thought it was, we talked a little bit about they were slow kind of out of the gate and it being uncomfortable. And then once they finally settled in, they really attacked what was being thrown at them that day. And, just debriefing on it, like, we can't be uncomfortable. We're going to be uncomfortable. We've got to be ready to go from the start. So just kind of a lesson we can take with us. Day one in practice, but also moving forward into games.
Coach, there's a lot of youth on the team now. Are you expecting your upperclassmen to help you out with finding the youthful members of the team find their way?
Yeah, it's actually been really, really nice to have Madison back. Even stepping away for a year, but being here for 3 years and really understanding, what it is that kind of makes me tick, and what we're looking for as a program and our identity moving forward. So, and then having, 9 new faces. Mads has kind of been that rock for everybody. Kenna, KP, and Lana, having been here as well, has kind of been a rock for everybody else as well. But there's only 4 of them, and they get outnumbered quite a bit. So I'd say Madison's kind of leading the charge there.
What do you need to get out of these first few days of official practice, and as you transition into, kind of a regular routine here?
Yeah, I think, the one thing we've got to get in game playing shape now. I think we're in pretty good spot conditioning wise in terms of, being able to run our fitness tests and lift the weights that we've been lifting now. We've got to be able to stack, 3 2.5 hour practices in a row before we get a day off. And, in the summer and the fall, when you only get the 4 hours on the court, now you're looking, nothing really changes except now you've got to stack the days back to back, and then we've got to make sure we're being smart and making sure their bodies are handling it appropriately. But we've got a lot to put in, and we've got 20 hours and we'll take advantage of them.
What's it been like working with Lana over the last several months? Talking about her work ethic, her being back in the gym as soon as the season ended.
Yeah, it's been fun. It kind of took me back on the court a little bit. She was the only one who could do it, so we worked pretty hard. It's didn't really. Obviously, she worked with her back to the basket on some certain things, but it was more or less face-up game, footwork, shooting mechanics. She naturally likes to shoot the ball from the left side of her body, as did I. So I, trying to put her in some situations where she could get her shot off on the perimeter, and then give herself some space to drive. So, a kid that worked really hard. I think her, KP, and Kenna, their handles got really, really good over the summer, and it was just so fun to kind of be on the court with a kid that, like Lana, who just wants to do whatever it takes to win.
Does she have the green light to shoot the 3?
What'd she say? Did you ask her that question?
I did, and she's like, yeah, I worked on my form, and
does. She
and
does.
you know,
She does.
she
We, you know, we're working a lot on pace and space in the open floor, but not just the open floor, but in the half court as well. And you know, trying to get her. Obviously, yeah, rim run from her is good because it's a high percentage shot, but trying to get her to comfortable in spacing to the corner to be able to knock down corner threes.
You mentioned 9 new faces. Are you excited for the opportunity to help such a youthful team discover their identity in the Big Ten?
Yeah, it's been a fun, unique challenge. You know, obviously, you watch them in their old schools, and you find a way to try to piece them together in the summer and in the fall. And I like the identity that we have right now. I think it's going to continue to grow. I don't know that it's going to evolve because I think who we are trying to be right now is who we're going to have to be to have some success. You know, I think every team every year is like, I want to play fast and run fast. Well, that's the idea here for us to kind of get out and transition. Got a lot of youthful legs and a lot of guards on the perimeter who can get out and transition. A lot of kids who can shoot the basketball and a lot of kids who can put the ball on the floor. So for us, on the offensive end, it's kind of opened some things up for us in terms of what we're trying to do, and then on the defensive end, you know, just try to create some chaos.
How close is KP to being back to full strength?
Yeah, pretty close. We did some 3-on-3 the other day, last week I think. So hopefully we can get some 4-on-4, full court, maybe some 5-on-5 in the half court. You know, in terms of, you know, what was fixed, everything is structurally fixed. It's important that she continues to work on her range of motion. You know, if you can't get your range of motion back, then something else is going to fail. So we got to be mindful of that.
What about Kenna and Taylor? Are they good to go for?
Not for day one, but I like I said, I think I anticipate them being ready to go November 3rd.
Just with the Big Ten and keeping the women's tournament at 15 and the men with the 18,
Yeah.
where did you come down on
I think it's the right thing. I think, you know, I think there's, especially like the last couple of years, there just hasn't been the parity between the bottom teams and the top teams. Maybe the men's side has, I don't know. But like, as someone who finished in the bottom, like, wouldn't deserve to go to the Big Ten tournament. Like, that's point blank. Like, that's how I feel. That's where my vote landed. You know, I think we're a little bit more compressed on time too. I think just with our season in the tournament, and I think we got, as a league, it's our job to kind of like protect the top teams. And to do that is for them to play less games. I mean, just playing all 18 just didn't make sense for us on the women's side.
It was a pretty healthy discussion in the
I think
room
it
about
was. I think it was not quite unanimous, but pretty damn close.
it.